Growing up in the 90s, actor Pierce Brosnan was a synonym for a James Bond character for me. I knew about the past Bonds, but he had 3 movies in that decade already, so there was no doubt that he was my favorite. After getting our PS1, I was excited to find out that there is a game based on his second movie, Tomorrow Never Dies. I remember that I couldn't beat it as a kid, but I had plenty of fun with it nevertheless. This game was released in 1999, 2 years after the movie, exclusively for PlayStation. It was developed by Black Ops Entertainment and co-published by EA and MGM Interactive. You may wonder, just like me, why such a big gap between the movie and the game, but I read that there were some development issues and it had to be delayed multiple times. Funny thing is that the month it was released, new Bond movie The World Is Not Enough came to the cinemas. Reviewer in PS1 magazine was not very happy with this game and gave it only a 5 out of 10. Tomorrow Never Dies is a third-person action shooter game which follows the plot of the movie. There are 15 levels to beat, and you can also see some cutscenes from a movie after several missions. It completes the game nicely, and I remember feeling really cool and satisfied each time I saw it as a kid. I wrote in the title of the video the word "jack of all trades" because I think that this phrase perfectly sums up the gameplay, but not in a bad way. You can do many things here, like driving Bond's BMW, skiing, shooting missiles from a jet, and so on. It is not just a dull shooter, although shooting bad guys is the main part. There are missions where you have to do some scanning, using Bond's gadgets of course, or locating some discs or codes to proceed. One mission also includes playing for a different character while in, and I have to say that it was fun. I would like to talk about the shooting part in more detail. Sometimes it felt super fluid, but there were times when I was not sure whether I'm really hitting someone or no. There is an automatic aiming which is shown by a red circle, but I think that it was not always super accurate. On the other hand, when enemies shoot at you, they hit you almost every time and your health depletes quite fast, even while having a body armor vest. You can switch to a first-person mode while shooting, which sometimes helped a lot, but when enemies are approaching you quickly or are near you, you just don't have time for that, otherwise you will lose a lot of health. Especially painful can be aiming with the sniper rifle, because Bond moves very slowly from side to side while aiming. On the other hand, shooting from a car or a jet was super fun. Worst part of the combat, and probably the whole game, is the skiing. You cannot use any weapons while doing so, only shoving your enemies with your skis. It is incredibly painful and tedious, and I was very happy when it was over. But despite all these flaws, I mostly enjoyed the combat in this game. Bond's movement is a mixed bag. There were moments when it felt really good, but also when it felt stiff and clunky. Moving from side to side was perfectly fine thanks to the buttons that are specifically used for that. But moving to the front and back was a bit frustrating, mainly in tight spaces when I wanted to see the enemies shooting at me. Graphically, this game is somewhere in the middle. As a kid I felt the graphics could be better, but playing it now I kind of liked it. Of course it doesn't reach the levels of Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil or Quake 2, but it is fine and functionable. I generally preferred interior levels to exterior ones, where it was a bit more detailed and polished. Even Pierce Brosnan looks perfectly like him during close-ups, which was not always easy to achieve during PS1 era. Soundtrack might be the strongest part of this game. Both theme accompanies you throughout the whole time and it sounds great. Let's listen to some of the level themes. Voice acting is also very good, even though none of the actors reprised their role here. I must say that I wouldn't even know because the voice actors did a really nice job. I mentioned that there are 15 levels to complete, but unfortunately it will be over in a couple of hours. Which is absolutely fine if you like shorter games and don't like to spend countless hours completing it, but I feel that it could have been a bit longer here. Basically you have only two difficulty modes, Agent and 007. If you like challenge, you can try to beat it on 007 mode, which is more tough. For me, the Agent difficulty mode was enough, because it wasn't easy to finish the level sometimes. Overall, I will give 007 Tomorrow Never Dies a 6 out of 10. Fun third-person shooter, doing many things, but with short gameplay time and some flaws bringing the overall score down. The cover art shows the main star Pierce Brosnan with an explosion behind him, telling you basically what to expect when you will decide to play this game. On my PS1 tier list I will put it ahead of Star Wars Demolition and two NHL face-off games with the same score. This game is quite cheap to get on eBay, starting from around $15. I hope you enjoyed the video. If yes, you can give a like, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to receive retro gaming reviews every week. That is all from me for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.